exiting the old facility was, it was kind of a hard process. I mean, we put a lot into making that first facility our own. And so the thought process of leaving it was kind of challenging, you know, and honestly, it's going into a new process of something that's unknown. But at the same time, I was extremely excited because I knew that with this new facility, we would be able to build something from scratch, you know, which is not an experience that we've ever had. In the basement, you know, we already had the infrastructure there and we really had minimal resources. Going into the second location in DeSoto, you know, it was a school previously. And so we went from working with the infrastructure of the school that was already there to kind of retrofitting it into an esports arena. So the thought process of leaving that, going into something where we get to build all of the walls and we get to create the entire floor plan from scratch was exciting, you know, and it's still exciting. And I'm very pleased with the way that it's turned out. Working over the summer remotely as an operations officer is kind of terrifying because you've got this whole team of young individuals that you're trying to manage remotely. And so for there, it was challenging, but we definitely got through it. I think a lot of individuals have grown and it was an amazing experience to be able to see how everyone pulled together. Our team definitely bonded. They got really close. Honestly, while we were out of our displaced during the construction period, the production team worked in one of the individuals' homes, which was very gracious of him. And it was beautiful to really see everybody be able to come together. So it was reassuring, and I'm glad that they were able to really get that experience as well. So being in this new facility is really just like a homecoming. You have everybody coming together, you know, and we still have a lot of things to work out as far as the building is concerned. But I'm excited to just have everybody here. It's a sigh of relief to have a home, because working out of my home was not fun personally. But I'm glad to be able to see everybody here today. The collaboration, the energy, just everybody being back together is definitely a fulfilling experience.
Just making sure you're adaptable and organized, honestly. You know, whatever environment you get put into work, you gotta do your work. So as long as you're able to adapt and continue to work, everything's gonna be good.
You know, I think definitely enhancing our production. You know, we just got Brandon, so he's a great, you know, addition in terms of expertise and execution. But I think one of the things is just, you know, like I said, with streaming and people from, you know, from home that do this as a hobby, you know, there's a lot of ways that it just starts off. You have your, you know, you have your equipment, you have your headsets, your mics, your peripherals, and you do it, but there's always ways to improve. So we've added more items to our production line, like replays. Like we weren't actually, that's a good one. We actually weren't able to do replays really well at the old building, but we actually, from just working together, even at my house, we incorporated a system where we could do live replays and live highlights or incorporate that into show. And it's only going to be easier now that we're in the building, you know, the live graphics station. So doing things that kind of enhances just the little parts of production, like if you have all of the, output in stream and ingest into one system, that's a lot of stress on the computer. You know, so we found ways to kind of divvy that up and, you know, de-stress our systems to make things more efficient. So I think it's not a matter of what we haven't been able to do, but a matter of improving our processes and being more efficient.
Yeah, we call it the E2E ecosystem, the educate to entertain ecosystem. And I think, you know, when individuals who are interested in the esports and gaming industry, from an educational perspective, learning about all of the components of esports, being able to also witness that of true high intensity esports is just as impactful. So the fact that we're able to leverage our facility, our ed tech platform, and have the ability to go into the communities and pull some of the best gamers in the world, so therefore those students can experience that, that's unimaginable. And ultimately schools, specifically high schools and college, what they may see from an esports perspective is their peers, competing in specific games. And it's a whole different realm when you're watching the professionals. It's no different than why we will watch someone on ESPN or LeBron James, or go to their game and watch them. So, a student needs to be able to see up front what it's like to experience true, high-end professional competition. And we're looking to provide that here. And so, when you think about incorporating a program in regards to education and entertainment, we figured out a way that is ultimately, an extremely difficult process that took us, several years to figure out and implement. And now we're actually able to see how all of these components are coming together to really provide something super impactful for the students. Whether they're physical or actual virtual, the fact that they can be able to simulate running their own esports organizations alongside of that of true, aspiring professionals to professional gamers is unreal.
Like I said, just not being able to work with my team. If something's needed, waiting for an email to get through or waiting for them to call you back. Being in the facility allows us to, again, just work more efficiently and make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, that's a good question. First thoughts is that obviously it's smaller than our last facility, but we weren't definitely effectively using all that space we had there. I think with this space, every square inch is utilized to the best of its ability, and there's only going to be more things we're going to add to improvise and to improve our experience for the community. But when I create events and I conduct events, I want people to come here and as soon as they step into the door, it's like a wow factor, or it's like, man, that's super cool. From things like decals on the walls to lighting effects. And Danny says it best, it's an intimate experience. People are able to come in and immediately be enthralled on the things that we have going on in the space. And then also for the community, when people come in and play games, we have the very best equipment on stage, shout out to Alienware and those guys. But the stage is very cool. You have equipment that you would only see on a professional esports level for people who want to compete. And now we're able to give that to anyone, that experience to come in of all ages. You could come in and compete just like a real professional gamer and create content or what have you. And at the same time, have an audience to watch, whether it be a small or large audience, we can accommodate both. And it all is thanks to the team and the people that came through to help build the building that we're now able to accomplish that.
So I'm just proud to be in Dallas. Dallas has so many esports organizations that are doing amazing things, and we're grateful that we're able to be a part of it. What Esposure does is we work with those organizations to add an educational component to everything. And again, giving access to the opportunities in esports. So, when you look it up, you'll see larger arenas, the biggest arena in the nation that's going to be associated with esports right here in the area. You'll see some amazing gaming organizations in the Dallas area as well. So we're glad that we're able to partner with those organizations and add that community element, add that education element to where it's like, okay, you're doing these amazing things, but what you could also do is add in that education component to where you can teach other people and bring other people into this fold where you're able to let them see how they can drive their passion into a career. And that's really one of the biggest things that I'm appreciative for in our current area.
Wow, one of the biggest things that we've seen right now is that our EDE Esports Immersion Program extends from a global perspective, but the value add is for those students that are actively able to come in the local, that are in the local geographic location, that can actively experience coming to the Esposure education and esports studio. And what we're recognizing is that the actual students that are, leveraging our EdTech platform, we see that as incredible value from a virtual perspective in different geographic location. But we also see the impact in regards to a student being able to come into a physical location. And so for us, we're looking to be able to extend our offerings to different geographic locations in the form of franchises. And at that point, it just allows the actual opportunity for a business owner to get involved into this industry by us being able to provide a model, while at the same time, for that student that are actively going through our immersion program, they have the ability to come and see and touch and feel and interact with the esports industry by way of not just having to be from a virtual perspective. And so on our end, we're trying to enhance the virtual experience just as much as we're trying to enhance the physical experience. But the best way for us to be able to provide impact just naturally is to be able to build out an esports facility inside of their local geographic location. So we're looking to expand our offerings and impacting more individuals globally.